Well, drafts are coming up, boys, and I'm excited. This is the hardest draft I can remember in years. Every team has two, three, four running backs. It's tough. It's tough. If all 32 teams use two at least, that's 64 guys. Listen, there's a lot of teams that can't even get their running game going. There's other teams that have two and three backs that are all like RB1 type of guys. So what we're gonna do is I researched everything. I went off my own scouting, off eyeballs. Then I went off analytics, last year's stats. And then I went off projections from this year, rushing attempts per game, what they're projected to be, target shares. Nowadays, there's different ways to skin a cat. There's only out of my top 20 running backs, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I got 8 guys in my top 20 that rushed for 1,000 yards last year. That means the other 12 did not. You got guys who had catches. Christian McCaffrey, 85 catches. Barkley, 57 catches. Eckler, 107. So there's all different ways to evaluate how a running back is going to get value for your team. Running backs nowadays, they're in the backfield. You hope that a good one can carry 15 plus times a game. But then again, you have guys like the Barkleys and the McCaffreys and Ecklers that get a lot of passing receptions. So then you want to see who lines up at receiver more often than other running backs. The kid Gibbs from Detroit is one of those guys. He's like a Jamal Charles. We'll get to that. So let's start with the list. Anyway, before I start, Nooch, neighborhood picks, fantasy football, NFL football, the sports betting, everything's going right through the year. I do things every day, just about every week, just about on everything that we could possibly talk about with football. I love football. Me and my friends are all piped in. This is our 3rd season, so like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have fun with us this year. So anyway, my number one running back for the fantasy football draft, if I had the number one pick, even over Jefferson, the receiver, we'll stay on backs, I would probably have to take Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, 20 touches a game he averaged last year, 114 yards a game, multi-purpose, receiver out of the backfield, 85 catches, hell of a runner. He's probably the most complete back in the whole NFL, the best back. So McCaffrey's going to be the number one back that goes off the board. Number one back, Christian McCaffrey. Now, my number two back is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, same thing, run, throw. 57 catches last year. His rookie season, he had 2,000 all-purpose yards. When he tore his ACL 2 years ago, he wasn't healthy. He wasn't himself. Last year, we saw the bounce-back season. He was a 1,000-yard rusher, almost 57 catches, just the awareness, 100%. You see him going for a touchdown against Minnesota, 2-2. He's the leader of the Giants, and usually it's the quarterback. Saquon Barkley's the leader of the Giants. He's the best all-around back in football other than Christian McCaffrey. He's right there. Saquon Barkley is my number two back overall. Number two, Saquon Barkley. Number three, I got Eckler. I think Eckler's not even in the top 10 of running backs, but that's not what gets you points anymore. Eckler caught 107 balls last year. 45 of them were fucking accidents. Herbert, fish face coach, bad offense, nothing vertical. Check down. If Eckler catches 107 balls this year, that coach will be fired 100%. So expect Eckler to catch 70 balls or less this year. He'll lose about 35, 40 catches this year. Still a good player. Still a nice check down, a nice guy for Herbert. But Quentin Johnston's there now. New offensive coordinator, vertical, careful with Eckler. He's number three, but only because of last year. I don't like him. I wouldn't take him. People are going to kill me for this. Now, I'm not taking him because I want a real horse. I don't want a guy in a scat back getting me weird yards. I don't like that shit. But my number four back is a big-time back. A couple months ago, I wasn't high on Bijan Robinson. I figured Atlanta's going to stink. They'll get nowhere. Then I did some research. Chris Johnson, the year on Tennessee, 2000. Tennessee was kind of a bad team, just wanted a power run. They said, let's give this stud the ball 30 times a game. He went for 2,000. I'm hearing that Atlanta is going to run this kid 25 times a game. He could be 300 carries in his rookie year. He's the best back since Saquon Barkley as far as scouting report. So, and another thing, I was looking at the team over-unders. The Giants, who I want Barkley because, good team, good back. The Giants are listed at 7.5 wins. The Falcons are listed at 8.5 on FanDuel. So they think that Atlanta's going to be a decent team. And if they are with Bijan, could be a big-time player. Bijan Robinson, rookie, comparable to Saquon, complete back. Go get him. Number 4. Number 5, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is my candidate, my favorite to win the rushing title this year. Last year, he had no rushing TDs. But this year, there's no Kareem Hunt. He's in Cleveland. He's the man. He's been super consistent. The past 4 years, he averages 16 carries a game since 2019. We like that. So, Nick Chubb is just Mr. Consistency. If you want a guy, pencil him in for 1,400 and good churned out yards every week. It's hard to go wrong with Nick Chubb. I got him at 5. Number 6, last year's rushing champ, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, 53 catches, 1,600 yards rushing. And in Las Vegas, with the Raiders, they have him in the same exact role. Enough said. If you want a guy that's going to get you points and your favorite players aren't there, I don't like guys off crappy teams, but he will probably give you value. Number 6, Josh Jacobs. 7, Derrick Henry. I was going to put Henry a little lower this year, but I bumped him back up because I have it in my mind Henry doesn't catch any balls. And then when I was doing my homework for you guys, I realized he had his career high in receptions last year, 35 catches. So that kind of surprised me. And he's been like a unicorn. He hasn't been slowing down much. So we got to keep Henry at, career highs with receptions and targets last year. We got to keep Henry in the top 10 at number 7. At number 8, the best talent in the whole NFL at running back. Coming off an ACL, Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson was the rookie of the year. It would have been Breece Hall if he didn't get hurt. He looks to me like the Saquon, like a Bijan coming in. Breece Hall is super. Now, he's not 100% yet. He's coming back off an ACL. He's going to get worked in easy. That's why Dalvin Cook is a good guy to have. But I don't think you could go wrong with Breece Hall. He's that good. The only thing you got to be careful about, you never know with everybody's different with the ACL. Saquon, it took him 2 years. Adrian Peterson took him 9 months, rushed for 2,000. You never know. Breece Hall's talent, super high. Certainty, shaky. So we got to watch with Breece. Number 9, one of my favorite backs. From week 7 to 17 last year, he was the 8th best running back in the league. So that's a pretty good sample size. ATN, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence coming up. Jacksonville on the rise. They got Tank Bigsby, but he's going to be a complimentary guy. ATN is a horse. The reason he was so great from week 7 to 17 last year is because 2 seasons ago he broke his foot. So the first 6 weeks, not a true reading on him. 7 to 17, tore up the fucking league. ATN, number 9. Number 10, another guy. He's going up, up, and up. Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson, 1,000-yard rusher and 69 catches. Harris is gone. Belichick, he's going to run the rock. Bill's going to play defense and run the rock. I can't say enough about Ramondre Stevenson. He's going from, which New England back is going to get the ball? Now it's that guy. It's not Zeke. Zeke lost his steam 3 years ago. He stinks. If he didn't have anything in the eyeballs last year, why are you expecting it this year? Zeke is there to carry the ball 12 times, maybe. Ramondre will get his 15 plus. Ramondre Stevenson, ascending star in the NFL. Number 11, Joe Mixon. He only averages 15 points a game for the last 3 years. 15 a game, running back, Bengals, good team, Mr. Consistency. He's got some off the field problems. Look out for that yourself. Something with a gun, but I'm not really sure. But Joe Mixon, Mr. Consistency. If you're going into the 3rd round or something, or late second, you see Mixon, you might have to take him. Jonathan Taylor, number 12. Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a team, but Jonathan Taylor is the fastest running back in the NFL. One of them. Track sprinting champion. Tore up the NFL 2 years ago. Didn't play last year. Was disgruntled. So we don't know. Super back. Waste of a season last year. Here we are again. 2 years ago, the best. Last year, nothing. What do you do? I got him at 12. We'll see. Now, number 13, Tony Pollard. Zeke is gone. I just told you. They got the little midget guy, Vaughn. He's 5'4". He's going to be like Darren Sproles. Keep an eye on Vaughn because he's going to do big things. You're going to get like 3 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown with him. You're going to get scores with Vaughn. But Tony Pollard, 39 catches last year, 1,000-yard rusher last year with Zeke on the team. Clean break on the ankle last year. I figured he would be gone. When I started doing the research this summer, he's 100%. It must have been a beautiful clean break. He's back. Tony Pollard is the man in Big D. That's 13. Number 14, Dalvin Cook. 1,000-yard rusher last year, 27 years old. Don't give me that shit that he's old. 27. I'll be 44 in a month and a half. That's old. 27. I felt like fucking Bambi. I'll take Dalvin Cook. That's what I'm trying to say. I'll take Dalvin Cook, and while Brees is getting eased in, I'd like to roster them both. If you take Dalvin Cook, you should try to get Brees, and vice versa. Dalvin Cook is a horse, and if he gets 15-plus carries for the first 4 weeks of the season, let's just say the first 4 weeks, wouldn't you like to know certainty what running back is going to get that rock? There is no certainty anymore in the NFL. You don't know. So, look at certain teams. We don't even know who's going to carry what. We kind of know that Dalvin's going to get the rock for the first month a little more than Brees, probably. So, and we know he's good, and we know he's 27. 2022, 1,000 yards, 14 points a game. That was his low. I like Dalvin Cook because I think the Jets are a locomotive of a team, and he'll be right around that 1,000 yards again this year. Number 15, one of my favorite rookie running backs, Gibbs, Detroit. Here's what I'm going to say. Swift, gone. The other guy, Montgomery's in. Swift is gone. The backs from last year are gone. Gibbs, he's like Jamal Charles for the Chiefs. You remember Jamal Charles? Gibbs. He's going to split all the runs. So if they run 25, 30 times a game, he's going to get 12 to 15 carries, and he's taking all the passes out of the backfield. He's like Jamal Charles. Run, pass, lean, fast, great route runner. So Gibbs is on a playoff team. Goff, all these St. Brown, Campbell's doing a nice job. The Lions are upstart, and now they got a nice running back that's going to do all this, going to split carries with Montgomery and take all the passes, and Swift is gone. Gibbs could win you your fantasy league at running back. If you get a good guy like McCaffrey or a Barkley or an Eckler, and you get a Gibbs later, man, remember that name, Gibbs. Now, at 16, I got Kamara. We all know Kamara. He's not a new guy. He suspended the first 3 games, but he's that good. He's got joystick moves, catch, run. We all know Kamara. He's got to be in the top 20. Kamara, take him at your own risk. I don't know if I am. 17, one of my favorite running backs. Led the country 2 years ago at Michigan State. Yards after contact. 5 yards a carry for the Denver Broncos. Was ready to go right as the man towards ACL last year. We hear about Breece Hall. We hear about all these other guys. Nobody's talking about Javonte Williams. He is going to be the horse for Denver. Jerry Jeudy just went down. Melvin Gordon's out. The guy is Javonte Williams. No one's talking about him because he's coming off the ACL. You should be thinking about him just like Breece Hall. 2 top young backs coming off the ACL. It's not just Breece Hall, it's Javonte Williams too, number 17. Number 18, another man that led the nation in yards after contact 2 years ago. Kenneth Walker, Seattle, top back, tough. He's also, I think he was the fastest back last year on the next gen stats. I like all that next gen stuff. Got to watch out for Kenneth Walker in Seattle. They got a young back that's going to be coming in too, but we know Kenneth Walker's a stud. Rounding it out, number 19, Swift. Swift was always a top talented back with Detroit, and now he's got the best offensive line. Anybody want to know why I haven't mentioned Miles Sanders? Because he's not running behind Philadelphia this year. Swift is. Swift came out of Detroit. He's on Philly. he's going to be the guy. I don't think his availability is too good. He gets hurt all the time. Will I take Swift? Absolutely not. Will he be a popular pick? Absolutely. High talent, high ceiling, questionable availability. Number 20, I got Madison because Cook is gone from Minnesota. I like what I saw from him. He looks like he runs hard. And, with the 8 games without Dalvin Cook, he averaged 15 points per game fantasy. So if he gets the volume, he should produce. And then one extra one, I just can't leave out Aaron Jones because he's got 1,400 yards 2 out of the last 3 seasons. No more Rodgers there, but he's such a great football player. It's like an exception to my rule. Even though Green Bay might not be too good, Aaron Jones is such a good football player, I wouldn't mind having him. So that's my list, the top 20 running backs for fantasy football for our draft. There's many more, but those are the top 20 that I got marked down that I'm going to hope to grab in those first 4 rounds. 20 running backs, 20 receivers, that's 40. A tight end, a quarter, 42. 10, 20. We're talking, these guys are all going to be gone. So hopefully these guys are here, and then I got my secret ones if they're gone. But those are my top 20 running backs. And tomorrow we're coming out with receivers. And we're doing videos daily. So just stay tuned. Check your notifications. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Top running backs. Nooch. Peace.